everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Hope everyone's having a great day, and today is the day. Today's the day we get the second and final, main final, I should say, Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, and we're going to be doing a little breakdown, checking it out, and kind of sharing my thoughts on some things that I noticed from a few different rewatches here. So before we get into that, I ask if you please drop down, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I mainly do Hot Toys and 1/6 scale stuff, but this has also to do with that, just because this is where Hot Toys draws their inspiration from. So we'll talk about, maybe what we're going to get figure wise, what I could see us getting, things like that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of stop, start, and talk about some things, what I'm seeing as we go through this. So, I mean, right off the bat, and I know this was talked about in the past couple of weeks, that this movie is going to be a little bit darker. So you can see Peter here. It looks like he's, in my opinion, and I've said this to some people, I haven't said this on the channel, but I have a feeling that somebody close to Peter Parker is going to die at some point in this movie, whether that be Ned or MJ or Aunt May. Somebody close to him is going to die. And this shot kind of looks like that could be from this time, from if this does happen in the film, that this shot right here looks like that's a reaction to somebody dying or something really, really bad happening. So we've seen that in the past trailers. This is a new shot in the subway, which is pretty cool. Okay, so this was my first moment in the trailer where I kind of scratched my head a little bit. First off, if you watch the first trailer, in my opinion, Doctor Strange seems way off in that first trailer. Just does not seem like himself. The Sanctum is it's got snow everywhere. He acts like he doesn't care. Wong warns him about the spell, and Doctor Strange just looks at him, just gives him the smile. I won't do it. And then when he walks out, he just winks at Peter, and then they do the spell. And now he's blaming Peter for that spell straight up when you botched that spell. Did Peter really botch the spell? Was it fully 100% him? I know we saw that in the first trailer where he starts talking, in the middle of the spell, Doctor Strange tells him to stop, whatever. But at the same time, I feel like Strange is also responsible for that at some point. And it's weird that he would completely shift the blame onto Peter like that 100 solely percent. So this was the first part where I'm kind of thinking, I've had this theory for a while since the first trailer. This Doctor Strange is not the Doctor Strange that we've seen in the movie, Infinity War, and Endgame. He seems different. Then we see the pumpkin bomb. That's our first look. So obviously this is our first look at really the black suit in action, and we'll see here in just a second another piece. So it looks to me like this black suit is going to be the suit that he uses to kind of capture the villains. So to capture Electro, Doc Ock, things like that. Maybe not Doc Ock, because as we get to him here in just a second, you'll see he's not wearing this suit. But this is the first time we really get to see it in action. And of course, we're getting that suit in figure form. And here comes Doc Ock. We saw this in the first trailer. This is a cool shot. And this is what I'm kind of confused at right here. So Doc Ock still has his mechanical arms, and they didn't look like they were tied up. They didn't look like anything like that. So why is he not using them to break out? Is he kind of confused? He's to the point of confusion that he doesn't know what to do, or is, have they kind of turned him a little bit to where potentially he's going to be more of a role model to Peter? I don't know. It just that scene right there seemed a little odd to me. See, we get another look at the suit. And see that right there, the Scooby-Doo, this crap. That to me, this Doctor Strange seems completely out of character for this whole trailer. It just seems really weird. Seems really off to me. It does not seem like himself. His voice doesn't even sound right either, in my opinion. But there's J. Jonah, and then we get some good fights with Doc Ock. There's the pumpkin bomb. Now these two are going to fight each other. Upgrade to the. Okay, so this was. I'm glad I paused it right there. So as we kind of see that go through, to me, Doc Strange wants to. And this was a rumor months ago that the plot of this movie was going to be the villains come to this universe. Doctor Strange wants to send them back. Peter realizes that the fate of each one of these is to die at the hands of the Spider-Man from the other universes, and that's their fate. And he doesn't want them to die. And I think that's because I feel like Doc Ock is going to be more of a mentor figure after they fight. Like Peter's going to look at him and see him more as a mentor figure than more of a villain. And that's why I don't think Peter really cares that much about Electro, and we'll see Sandman and Lizard here in just a second. But I feel like he's made that connection with Doc Ock, which he has that connection with Doc Ock in the comics and throughout the game and things like that. I feel like that connection is there. They've connected, and he doesn't want to send them back knowing that they're going to die. He doesn't want to do that. It's not that he doesn't care about the others, but it seems to me that this is going to draw him closer to Doc Ock, or I should say Otto Octavius. But so looking at this right here, we get a good look of Jamie Foxx in, I know the pause is kind of a little blurry, but we get a good look at him in the Electro suit, which is a lot different than what we got from Amazing Spider-Man 2. And we actually get a good look at the little star emblem that is comic accurate that's over his face. So I think that's really cool. This is a figure that I really hope that we get. I fingers crossed that we're going to get a Green Goblin, Defoe's Green Goblin, because we're going to see another Green, and we're going to see Baby Goblin here in just a second. Defoe's Goblin, Electro, and Doc Ock. I'm really hopeful for those. They could do Sandman, but depending on how he is in this film, because we're only going to see him in his full Sandman form. We're not going to see him as more looking like in his human form. And then, of course, Lizard. It'd be cool if they did a Lizard. I don't think that Hot Toys is going to go that far with it. Look at Green Goblin there. Okay, so let me back up because that's where Baby Goblin comes in. Let's see if we can pause this at the right time. Okay, so this is not Green Goblin Defoe. That's either Baby Goblin, perhaps from Amazing Spider-Man 2. I doubt it's James Franco's Goblin. I have a feeling that it's probably I can't remember that actor's name now. The one from Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't think this is Ned as Hobgoblin. But I do think that this is, and it could be, but I don't think it is. I think it is the Baby Goblin from the second film of Amazing Spider-Man, which is Garfield's his. So there we get to look at 3 of the Sinister Six, which tells me that either they have they've either edited out the other three to kind of hide that, and maybe part of the Sinister Six is the other two goblins. Perhaps Mysterio's involved here. We don't see that, or Venom. Remember, Venom's hanging out there somewhere. But from the end credit scene of Venom Carnage, he's here. He's in this universe, so we got to keep that in mind, as he could be involved in this somewhere also. We do not see him in the trailer, but he could be involved here as well. And I think I was trying to get it to pause right on him landing there, because this suit looks to be a little bit different. This has got kind of gold trim there on the shoulders. I don't think this is the same. This to me looks like a new suit. I don't think this is the Iron Spider suit. I think this is a brand new. So you see him going after those three. Yeah, that's a brand new suit. That's not the Iron Spider suit. And then the clock falls down, and there goes MJ. He's going after. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Doctor Strange just seems off to me for some reason. And I don't know. Maybe it's just me trying to read more into this, but he just doesn't seem like himself a little bit. And that's the end of the trailer. So there's no sign of Toby. There's no sign of Andrew Garfield. I know that seems to be the rumor, that Marvel Studios, Feige didn't want to show him in the second trailer, but Sony did. This is a Sony film. This isn't a Marvel Studios film. It's in conjunction with Marvel Studios, obviously, but Sony is the one that owns the rights, that distributes, and they do all this. So I find it odd that we didn't get at least a hint. There wasn't even a hint of Toby or Andrew, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be lucky enough, and if they are in the film, maybe we'll be lucky enough, and that we won't get anything until you sit down and watch it, because I think that reaction in the theater will be great. We've had some great reactions with the past few movies, Thor landing in Wakanda. Well, you go back to the beginning, Avengers in the Circle from the first Avengers movie. At least when I was in the theaters, when people reacted, when there was a lot of reaction to it, Thor landing in Wakanda was gigantic. It was an eruption in the theater we were sitting in. And then, obviously on your left, the circles or portals, from Endgame. Those reactions were big. And I remember telling Crystal, will we ever see a reaction quite like that again? Will we ever have that moment? And this could potentially be that moment. If they are in the film and they show up, yeah, we're probably in for something major. We didn't get any kind of hint at Daredevil being here, or I should say maybe just Matt Murdock, just because the rumor is, and I know there's some photos out there of Matt Murdock sitting at the table, doing his lawyer thing with Peter. Perhaps that's all going to be kept under wraps the best they can until it comes out, until the movie comes out. I mean, we're about a month away now, right at a month away, which is for a lot of people, is going to feel like an eternity. I know it's going to feel like eternity for me, because I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is going to be one of the major, like I was kind of saying there, a major moment in the MCU, and hopefully lead us into Multiverse of Madness. And I still think Doctor Strange that's in this film is not the same Doctor Strange. I don't know if he's a Skrull. You're going to go into Skrull logic here with Secret Invasion coming up, obviously. Skrulls can't use the powers unless he's the Super Skrull. Okay? Now, the Super Skrull has not been introduced. They haven't hinted at it, anything like that. Now, this would be a neat way to introduce it, and that could explain why the spell got botched. He couldn't handle it. It could explain why there at the end he can't stop, because I feel like Doctor Strange is, he's up there on that upper tier Omega level style powers. because of his spells and what his knowledge. So I feel like he should be able to stop what's going on. So maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. That's just me speculating, but there's been no hint. I know the scroll theory is so easy because you could just say everybody's a scroll. He's a scroll. Peter's a scroll. Doc Ock is a scroll. You could say all that. But kind of wrapping up, and my takeaways is, one, we didn't see the other two Spider-Men. If they're in the film, we're not going to see those potentially until the movie comes out, which I think is a good thing. Two, Doctor Strange to me is even more off of himself in this trailer than he was in the first one. I probably, if he wouldn't have reacted this way in this one, I probably could have excused the first one and said, oh, well, maybe it was just the way, whatever, the way he said things or lines or whatever they chose to make him look that way. But he definitely looks off in this one. The third thing, and just maybe just going on that, would be maybe after Endgame he's just different. This is going to be our first look at him after Endgame and going through everything that they went through with Tony dying and things like that, and him knowing that maybe that's taken a toll on him and he acts differently. That's always a possibility, and that's something we got to keep in mind there. So the next thing is, I feel like Otto Octavius' role in this film is going to be a little bit bigger with Peter than what they're leading on, than being just a villain. I think he's going to be more of a mentoring role, it seems like. I think he's going to be the one that when Peter finds out that their fate is to die to the other Spider-Men, that in their own respective universe, that he's going to find sympathy with Otto, because Otto is going to look at him and maybe is more of a mentor figure. That's just kind of what I get from this trailer now that we've seen him more. I thought it was odd that he's in captive, but his mechanical arms are just there. He's not using them, right? So is that some sort of spell jail cell type thing that doesn't allow him to use the arms? I don't know, but I thought it was odd a little bit. The other takeaway is we did get confirmation of at least, really 6 of the 6 villains that we see in the trailer: Doc Ock, Green Goblin Defoe, Baby Goblin of some sort, Electro, Sandman, Lizard. So we've gotten at least 2 from Garfield and 3 confirmed from Tobey Maguire's universe. Baby Goblin, I don't know. You don't get a great look at him to see if potentially that is which one that is. I think it's probably the one from Andrew Garfield's universe, not James Franco from Tobey's universe. And then really the last thing is I feel like somebody close to Peter is going to die in this film. The way it opens up with kind of that, and we'll come back to that opening right here. Just this look on his face. He's beaten down. You can see he's been through battle. This is the look of someone, to me, this is the look of someone that just lost something or someone. I have a feeling that someone close to him is dying. The trailer it's hinting that it's MJ. I don't think it's going to be MJ. I have a feeling it's going to be Aunt May or Ned. And then Ned dies, but he doesn't really die. And then he comes back as Hobgoblin to seek revenge on Peter for leaving him to die, So I have a feeling that we could potentially be setting something like that up. Because obviously Ned Leeds turns into Hobgoblin at some point in the comics, and then I have a feeling that that's kind of the setup here, because we're supposed to get more than 3 movies. We're supposed to get another 6 movies? I think I had heard at one time it was rumored that there were going to be 3 different trilogies. So, and if that happens, who knows? If it doesn't, then this story is probably going to end with this one. We may not get a fourth one. I don't know. But all in all, I'm looking forward to it. I think this is going to be a big moment for the MCU. And it's going to, as we continue to push towards this idea of the multiverse, different universes, things like that. I mean, we could, now we're talking, you could potentially see X-Men show up. You can see Deadpool. This is how they could bring Deadpool in, things like that. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm real excited about it. I'm not going to go over crazy like some other people do on YouTube, because that's just not my style. And I think some of it's a little bit over cringy. I think it gives fans, it can rub people the wrong way. We'll just leave it at that. So with that being said, that's going to be it for this trailer breakdown. I hope that everyone has got a chance to look at the trailer, watch the trailer multiple times, and kind of dissect it a little bit. And I hope everyone's excited for the film. Like I said, I think it's going to be a great film. It's like 2.5 hours long, so it's got some beef to it, which is good. I think Endgame came in right around 2.5 as well. I think it was a little over 2.5. So this is going to be a good film, or maybe it was close to 3. I don't remember. It might have been close to 3. It wasn't Snyder Cut, which was like 4.5 or whatever. But I think Endgame came in close, right, almost to 3. But get your popcorn ready. That's all I can say. So with that being said, I think that's going to be it for the video. As always, hope you have a good one, and we will see you in the next video.